Hey, what's going on, everyone? Jay here. We're doing another Marincess deck profile. At some point, I'm gonna get sick of doing these, and I think I already am. But this time around, we're gonna be doing a Marincess Xyz deck. So it's a little bit different. We are combining two engines that are completely different from each other and hoping that we see certain cards in our hand when we open. And that's not good. That's not a good thing at all. But I threw this together because, you know, I saw the potential in it, and, you know, I did get some duels in. We're gonna show some replays of some duels that I won, like some, you know, best of threes, some best of ones, not a whole lot, mostly because when I do throw up that desired board that I want, people just FF, which is completely understandable. There's a lot of monsters that I'm trying to throw out there to throw people off their groove, off their rhythm. And if I don't get there, if I get the one engine I want to see, and then I get Nibiru'd, I still have that other engine that I'm trying to get into. So it's a whole thing, and I think it's really exciting. So let's just get into this deck profile. All right, so if you can see the cards, there's a lot going on here. A bunch of Xyz cards in my extra deck, and then only 5 link cards in there. So it can make things a little bit tricky, especially, you know, with the Marincess archetype. Needing all those link monsters so that they can play off of each other, especially, you know, you're going to turn 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a very short range deck. This is, you win this just the first 2, 3 turns. If you're going to go even further than that, then you know what, you're going to run into a bit of trouble. You're going to run into a bit of trouble. So this is a very short range deck. This is not at all this is not at all very reliable, consistent. It's not something that you can probably take to locals. Probably not. I mean, maybe like if you got a group of friends that you put together, which is what I've done, you know, with Leo, who is doing music for this YouTube video. So go ahead and check him out on SoundCloud. Link is below in the description for that. Makes great electronic music. But moving on, yeah, this is something you play with your friends. You can kind of catch them off guard, and it's fun. Let's just get into the deck profile. I kind of always want to have 10 Marincess cards, especially if I'm doing some kind of like hybrid work off of each other, 2 separate engines type of deck. I want to at least have 10 Marincess cards so that, you know, at least I can grind the game out a little bit, just teeny little bit. So it's 3 Blue Tang, 3 Seahorse, 2 of the Pascals, and 2 of the Mandarin. The Pascalis can be pretty important here, especially because, you know, we do have the Ice Jades, the Tremora, and the Cradle, which means you have 6 copies of Ice Jade Tremora in your deck. Really cool stuff, because if you start off with you know, Cradle, Pascalis, and maybe Blue Tang or a different Marincess card, you get to use Tremora to discard itself, bring out Pascalis. Pascalis will special summon another Marincess card from your hand, and then, you know, you can keep going from there. The big point of that is that you save your normal summon for later. So speaking of that, let's get into this next engine. Fishies! Alright, so the fishies are all about relying on Tremora, because what I do want to see is Quellacanth in my hand. The 3 cards that I want to see in my hand, if I'm playing this deck, always will be Super Ancient Deep Sea King Quellacanth, Ice Jade Tremora, or Cradle, because Cradle will get you Tremora, unless you're Ash there. If your opponent for some reason knows that you're gonna go for Tremora and that you're gonna start off this crazy combo, yeah, they'll Ash you at Cradle if they know, but, you know, otherwise, why would they Ash Cradle? But the third one is a Marincess card. Most preferably Marincess Blue Tang. But you can work with anything else. So 3 of the Super Ancient Deep Sea King Quellacanth, because what you're going to do is that when you special summon it, you get to discard a card and then special summon 4 level 4. Is it 4 level 4? Yeah, as many level 4 or lower fish monsters as possible from your deck. So what's pretty cool about that is that I do have 5. I have 5 fish monsters. There'll be 3 Silent Anglers, a Lifeless Leaffish, and a Buzzsaw Shark. This Buzzsaw Shark could become Silent Sea Nettle. That is very good opportunity, or very good possibility of it being Silent Sea Nettle. Silent Sea Nettle, I just don't... I'm going to stop right there. Silent Sea Nettle will never see the light of day in this deck because it's not a fish. It's not a fish. It's an aqua monster. Yeah, I do have aqua monsters here. ISG Tremora, and that's cool with Totally Awesome, because Totally Awesome, you know, you can send an aqua monster from face up, field, or hand to use this effect to, you know, for its Omni Negate. But yeah, Silent Sea Nettle will never see the light of day in this deck, unfortunately. Even though I do like it a lot more than Silent Angler, but as it pertains to fishes and using fish, is plural for fish? I'm pretty sure it is. All right. Well, if you're going to fish deck, you just want Silent Angler, and you want to make sure that you use this as kind of like one of the last things you want to do in terms of special summoning from your hand. But yeah, Deep Sea King, Coelacanth, as many level 4 fish monsters from your deck as possible, you special summon them out. Their effects are negated, so Lifeless Leaffish, you can't use that to send, you know, another fish monster from the deck to your graveyard, which, that's fine. You kind of wanted Lifeless Leaffish to be the one that was special summoning it out there so you could throw Coelacanth into the graveyard, but you would need something like Dugaris to bring Coelacanth back into play. And then with Dugaris, you're gonna need, you know, probably a normal summon so that you can Xe summon it out. But so that's not what we're doing here. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. What we do here is ISG Tremora the Coelacanth. Coelacanth will send probably one of these babies or literally anything else into the graveyard, get the 4, and then get into your Bahamut Sharks and Totally Awesomes. Then the 2 Bahamut Sharks into your Utopic Future, and then Utopic Draco Future. Pretty common, right? What has happened to me is that I was crackdowned at Coelacanth right after activating its effect. They took control of Coelacanth, but then I was able to special summon all 5 of my fishies. That's kind of like, that's still pretty good for me, because that means that I do get this line of play, Draco Future with 2 Totally Awesomes, and I get that final water monster out there. So why is that important? It is because if I do have Blue Tang in my hand, I save that normal summon. That normal summon goes out there. I send some to the graveyard. Let's call it Marincess Seahorse. You use Blue Slug, get Seahorse back into my hand through its effect. Blue Tang, I get to excavate and, you know, get a Marincess card. Hopefully it's Marincess Wave, hopefully, but we're not putting all our eggs in that basket, and we're not going to ever. From there, you get to special summon the Seahorse into the Sea Angel. Get that spell into your hand if you don't already have it. Which spell? Marincess Battle Ocean. Am I thinking about bringing it to 1? Yes. Yes, I am. Am I going to do it? I'm a coward. So your next line of play then is to bring out Marincess Coral Anemone using both Slug and Seahorse. Then you use Coral Anemone's effect to bring, I don't know, say Seahorse back out there. And then, because of this wonderful card here, Crystal Heart, assuming you already have your spell out there as your field zone, you need 2 water monsters to create Marincess Crystal Heart. That is very generic for the type of deck that we have. So that means that's super ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth. Or if it gets, you know, cracked down, which, you know, it's not that prevalent in today's game right now, but if it does get cracked down or something like that, you know, or it gets destroyed but its effect still goes through, we still have one of these water monsters. So whatever Coral Anemone brings back, Seahorse and Coelacanth, for example, will create this Crystal Heart. So now we have 2/2, we make the Great Bubble Beef. That's right, she's back. So final board, ideally, is Great Bubble Beef with plus 2000 attack and unaffected by opponent's card effects. 2 Totally Awesomes, 2 Omni Negates, and then a Utopic Draco Future. Just cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Can negate activation. It's just a wonderful, wonderful card. Wonderful, wonderful board that you're able to build up. Plus, you may even get a Marincess Wave in your hand, an infinite impermanence, which then protects the rest of your cards because of if you control a link to or higher Marincess monster, beef. All face-up monsters you currently control are unaffected by your opponent's cards until the end of this turn. It's just it's a cracked out deck. It's a cracked out board that you can potentially have. Granted, there are things that can stop it. So we're gonna finish out the rest of the profile here. It is 3 effect Veilers, the 2 Marincess Battle Oceans we mentioned, 6 copies of the Ice Jade Tremora, 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talents. Throughout my duels, I might get rid of this to bring 2 more fish into my deck. Because throughout my duels, I haven't seen that much use for triple. Like I draw it and it's a brick because they're not using effects. They're using like spells or traps to get through my board, and it's not great. And it has to be done during my main phase too. So like they have to effect Veiler like Deep Sea Coelacanth or use infinite impermanence on it, enable for me to actually activate Triple Tactics Talent, and that's just. I can't rely on that too much. If I'm already relying on 3 cards to open up in my hand, then why am I relying on Triple Tactics Talent also? 4 cards? Ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm not doing it. And then finally goes in match. Why? Because we are going Stealth Kraken. So a lot of the time, this ideal board that we want to see, not going to happen. So instead, it's just a game where I build up the Great Bubble Beef, and then I find ways to Xe summon into all these other different cards that I have available to me. So let's just get into the extra deck. 1 copy each of the Blue Slug, Sea Angel, Crystal Heart, Coral Anemone, and Great Bubble Beef. This is pretty difficult. It's actually pretty tough. It's rough. It's again, very short range deck. It's a one and done. Did you win? Did you win? No. What did it cost? Everything. So that it's not great. I mean, I'm sure someone out there with a much bigger brain, with more wrinkles in it, will come up with something. But right now, it's just a mad scientist. That's all that I am. 2 Valiant Shark, 2 Totally Awesomes, Utopic, the Draco Future package. Then I have, Tornado Dragon, because, if I go up against those annoying cards that are like dispels on the field and that card is protected by it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, then I get rid of it with Tornado Dragon, right? Shark Lancer, this is really cool in combination with Stealth Kraken, just because with Stealth Kraken you don't have to remove a material to use its quick effect. That is insane. I think that's insane. So if these 2 are out there wombo comboing together, especially if I go second, yeah, detach 1 material from an Xyz monster, any of them that I control. Then I get to destroy that monster, the monster that I'm targeting. It's a quick effect if I control another water Xyz monster, which I'm going to no matter what with Stealth Kraken out there. And then this also is a quick effect of its own. I can just destroy without detaching. It's just so crazy how these 2 can really work together. All right, and then finally we do have Divine Arsenal Double A Zeus Sky Thunder. What a ridiculously long name. I've not been able to use this card. I've not been able to use this card whatsoever. Just because I haven't played enough. I get home from work, I do my thing, I cook some dinner, I play my games, and then I want to play other games too. So it's not for the lack of trying and sheer volume of games. It's the sheer lack of volume of games, if I use those words correctly. Finally onto the side deck, kind of like just keeping it the same. I threw some evenly matched in here because I just played with Leo and that was funny. That was really funny. I wasn't upset about it at all. Drill and Lockbird, Artifact Lancia, Token Collector, Dark Ruler No More. Pretty cool, pretty standard. So next I'm going to show you how you build up that ideal board. And then there are probably some other replays on other kind of boards that you could do. I think there's a 3-card combo that can put down the whole board. But yeah, I'm just gonna show you replays of the hand tests, and then I'll show you replays of some of the duels that I played. And you know what? That'll be that. That'll be that. All right, thank you so much for watching. That'll be it for this video. The one thing I didn't touch on quite yet, because I completely forgot about it in my insane rambling, is that Nibiru cannot be dodged. And Nibiru absolutely hurts this deck. It really does. However, if your opponent waits too long, you'll be saved by Totally Awesome. So the thing here is that you get Nibiru'd after you resolve Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth's effect. So you special summon that out, then you special summon 4 fish out, and then you special summon the 1 Bahamut Shark. You get Nibiru right there. Did that happen to me? Yeah, you just saw that, right? What happened after that? I still get my normal summon. And I keep going. So I go into the Marincess line, of course, if I have a Marincess card, if I get Blue Tang. And I think that's more and more reason why Triple Tactic Talents have to leave my deck and introduce Signet Mining, as well as getting rid of that second Marincess Battle Ocean. So going a whole playset of the Signet Minings just to really ensure that I have the Marincess line. I need it. I absolutely need the Marincess line just in case, I have to, eat an Imperm, get Nibiru'd before I commit that normal summon. So yeah, that's how you play around Nibiru for this deck. If you were to play against this deck or any Marincess decks in general, hold your Effect Veilers and Infinite Impermanence and all that nonsense for Coral Anemone. Just hit that card. That's a really good choke point. Another thing, by all means, Nibiru, if you see the Super Ancient Deep Sea King Coelacanth, Nibiru right there, just do it. But it's up to you. Do you want to see a token with that much attack? Up to you. Have fun with it. But you definitely don't want to. You don't want to deal with the repercussions of 2 Omnia Negates and a Utopic Draco Future. Can you play through this board? Someone cracked my board. Yeah, someone completely cracked my board. I think it was with Sky Strikers. I can't remember exactly which deck it was that broke my board, but definitely this person gamed. This person was a gamer. They card gamed me. they understand Konami's product a little bit more than I do. So if you have a much more understanding of this deck than I do, then I implore you to explore this, put your own little twist to it, and have fun. Also, let me know about it. Put it in the comments. And if you like this video, the deck profile in general, give my video a like, subscribe. It really helps out. I really want to, take off. I don't have the most knowledge. Again, I've been saying that for a few months now. I don't have the most knowledge, but I do make content. And I do try to put a smile on people's faces. So, podcast is coming in. I'm doing a podcast to talk about the game. I did just say I'm not that knowledgeable. That's why we got Leo. Leo has agreed to do this podcast with me, and we are taking time out of our very busy schedules to get together and make a wonderful podcast. So I'm really, really excited for it. So keep a lookout for that. Probably on the next video that I make, or maybe in the description below if you want to see it edited later in the future, there'll be a link to that. But for now, yes, please link below for Leo's SoundCloud, and then follow me over here at the social medias. That's also where you'll find me talking about the podcast and such like that. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have a wonderful week.